Because basically I want to start this press conference by talking to you. I want to take you back for just a moment. It's late on Sunday at the World Finals. Your hands are burned. They're in pain. You've got acid reflux in your stomach that has to be eaten through the lining, waiting to see what was going to happen. Ultimately, what happened is your teammate, Tony Schumacher, lost on a hole shot. You became the world champion. So take me back to as that run was staging. What was going on in your mind? What do you remember most fondly about it?
Well, I was standing on the start line, and I was watching the car stage, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, why can't I be on this start line deciding my own fate? Because the worst thing to do is to depend on somebody else to do the job that you want to do. Like I'd rather race for it. And me and Tony raced for it in that final round, and he was lining up, he was staging. I saw him step on the gas. I saw both header pipes literally come up, the flames out, cars take off. I saw no smoke from either car. And I saw that, I was like, I know this U.S. Army car is about to run a world record right here. He's about to break it down. And then I looked down there, and on my mouth on TV, if you saw my mouth on TV, I literally said, Tony's got it. Because it looked like he was out in front, he was getting ghost. And then I saw Brandon's wind light came on, and I was like, I was speechless, and I can talk. And I'm looking, I'm like, that means we're the champs? I'm looking, I see everybody else jumping around. I said, we are the champs. We're the champs. And I got real excited, and it took me back to Reading in my mind, is thinking about that one run, our last run down the racetrack that we won in competition. We set that world record. If we didn't set that world record, we wouldn't have won that championship. So it was one of those kind of bittersweet moments, and it'll live on for the rest of my life. It would make all these 15 years of my race career well worth it by making that happen.
It was a pretty awesome moment. Let him hear it. Tony, you can take the earplugs out. We'll be with you in a minute here. He wasn't listening to any of that, trust me. Well, Del Worship, welcome back.
Thank you.
To the cockpit.
Thank you.
You know, you kind of always got the sense, spending a little bit of time with Del each and every week, that fire was still in there. A lot of people might know the story. How did it all come together, and why are you back behind the wheel of a funny car?
Oh, well, I was kind of taken back myself by it a little bit, and at the conclusion of the finals here at her Pomona, Connie Coletta and Jim Oberhofer, the team manager, they kind of put this thing together and asked if I was interested in it, and I think just due to the people that were available and the way their team was going and how they wanted to do it, they just asked if I was interested in driving their car. And Jeff Loren's a great friend of mine, so I'm like, you really have to take care of some loose ends you have here before we talk about that. And once they handle their business, sure. I mean, I love funny cars. I always want another shot at funny car. I love Top Fuel. I had a great time there, but funny cars where I started, and there's definitely some things I want to do here.
How about it, guys? We got him back in a funny car. One of the best pure drivers in the class, and the good news is it worked out for everybody, because Jeff Loren is now driving for Big Jim Dunn. Todd Lysenko is hooking up with Paul Smith, so it's a story that really worked out very, very well for everybody indeed. Now let's hand the microphone over here to Brittany. I can only imagine what this young lady is feeling right now, having a very accomplished sister right here, having a very accomplished sister right over there filming the events, and some guy named John Force as a father. There's a lot of things, a lot of success right in front of you. So as you prepare for really a different direction for John Force Racing, Top Fuel Dragster, what are you feeling right now?
Yeah, John Force Racing is changing it up, but I have the best teachers around me to, help guide me and just throughout my whole season. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to get the season started, but I'm definitely nervous. Being out here at Pomona, first race, and we're just really hoping to get the Castrol Edge Top Fuel car qualified. So that's what we're going for.
Well, what do you think? Can she get the job done? Yeah! She certainly has the pedigree. Well, fans, start getting your questions together, and right now I'm going to come off the stage here and look out here in media land. Does anybody have a question for the drivers here to continue this press conference along? Hold on one second.
CarsandCompetition.com. This is for Ron. I know you've gone so close so many times. What did you tell yourself over the off season to really put yourself back in the hunt again?
If I heard you right, you're just asking, am I tired of finishing second?
More specifically, what did you do to prepare
Thanks,
yourself? Yep, here we go.
Hey, I'm fine. Second's better than third, and if I was my season or my career was to end right now, I'm okay with it. I've had, you know, it's like Dell. You know, to watch what he went through at Top Fuel and have him back in Funny Car. I'm lucky to be where I've been. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I could quit right now and be okay. I've had unbelievable career. I mean, fans are unbelievable. They remind you of it every day how lucky we are. So the minute I start complaining because I finished second, which you'll never hear, then I should start worrying and probably quit. But I got a great team, and I'm so excited about Tobler and Napa and all the new commercials they shot, and they're so excited about the future of the sport. And so I'm fine. It could have gone either way, and I'm not going to do anything different if I start worrying about it. And I got guys to lean on. You know, now Dell's got a championship, and he rubs it in all the time. But Tony, all the championships he won, and Jack, and even guys that I compete with, and girls, I can go and talk to and get advice if I had a question. But you know, Tony's always quick to tell me that just don't change what you're doing.
Does it put more pressure on you knowing, though, that your DSR teammates have won in front of you, and now maybe it could be a three-peat?
No, not really. I was happy because that was my crew for 8 years. These guys were my family. It still are. So it wasn't just, I know that there was a lot of sympathy because Jack lost his crew chief, Ron Tobler, but you got to remember that I lost my crew, and so did Jack that he'd worked with, but I'd worked with. And these guys are, and anybody up here will tell you, we spend more time out here with our family, which is our team, than we do with our own families at home. And our families suffer a little bit because of that at home, but with the travel and everything, but we spend more time with them. So we'll do anything in the world for our crew guys and girls. And so it wasn't just that Jack lost Tobler. You know, we both lost our crew guys that we worked with, but we're right next door to each other, so we can always go say hi, and I can look at his ring, and I guess everybody on the team's won one but me, huh?
I wasn't going to remind you of
I
that.
just realized that, yeah.
Any other questions? Here we go.
John, I have a few years on you, so I can ask you this question. But how in the world are you going to keep up with all these kids here?
Right here, John.
Well, I just love what I do. I come here today and see NHRA. We see beautiful weather that's going to be through Sunday, and watching my children, Brittany and Courtney, race. Robert Height, you know, frothing at the mouth all year long. Robert Height wanting to get a shot at that title again, and it all starts right now. It starts new for me, Courtney and Brittany, but all the kids right here in a row. I ain't no further ahead. Beckman, you're not ahead anymore. You're the champ, but it all starts even the day. But that's what makes it really unique. It makes it fun. And Beckman did a great job. I'm really proud of him. He worked a lot of years to get there. And the gentleman right here next to me in Pro Stock, I've watched these guys fight for it. And Antron, unbelievable, all of you guys. I'm honored just to get a shot to set up here and get my picture taken with all of them. It's really cool. And Schumacher, Warsham's been there and done it. And Ron Capps, don't play that shit on me, you're playing. He's a bad driver, let me tell you. He knows how to drive them funny cars, and he's got a team that can win, and some days the old deal just falls the other direction, and you don't know why. The good Lord's just testing you, and you're going to be fine, okay? And I'm just proud to be your friend, and I'm proud that I never thought I'd ever race with my children. I've had people here today, in fact, who in the hell was it? Antron said, I was 2 years old when you won your first championship. At 2 years old when I won my first championship. So I just thank the good Lord I can be here and play the game. And let me tell you, I'm getting old, and you think that I drove bad, I'm going to be real bad in the future. I can't hardly see anymore.
Jack, I feel like you're sitting over here itching for a little point, counterpoint.
Don't make me go after him.
That's my job. Stir it up. Let's go.
I don't know if it's worse talking after Antron or John. You know, I've been talking to a lot of people out here, and this is definitely my home track. I taught here at the drag racing school for years. And somewhere out there is my Uncle John. He's 6'4", so he's not tough to spot. But he took my brother Ted and I to our first drag race in Orange County when I was 7 years old, back in 1973. And to just think of what has happened since then, that I drove a bracket car for 21 years. I worked a job, put all that money into my own operation, just went out and loved what I did. I had a beat up old Suburban, a trailer so short everybody hit their head when they came in there, but I loved every bit of that. And if I hadn't made it to a pro category, it still would have been okay. And then I I look at what I've been able to do, that Don Schumacher had enough faith to hire me, that the Comstocks with MTS had enough faith to support us, and that I was given a team that was able to win us the championship, and here's my uncle out here in the pits. It's hard not to feel blessed, and it's hard not to just kind of pinch yourself.
Wow, that was quick. That's not like him normally.
I'm halfway done, Dave. And then I wanted to tell
Yeah, you're at 30 minutes. I'm timing that. You had to be at the banquet to understand. Anybody got a question for Tony Schumacher, Courtney Force, or Alan Johnson from members of the media? You bet.
This one's for Alan Johnson. Teaming up with Jeg Coughlin now, what do you want to achieve with that kind of team now?
Well, we certainly want to keep the championship in the Mopar ranks, and now we just have another quality contender to make that happen. And you know, Jeg and his family are an awesome organization, and we're just really happy to have them join the Johnson & Johnson operation and try to keep that going.
Hey, the guy sitting next to you here, John Flores, a number of years ago, talked about hiring his own assassin. You've already got Vincent Nobile in your pit. What were you thinking by adding Jeg?
You know, I said last year, Vincent, I probably raced him more than anybody in the pits, and he made me better. He made me practice, made me really get down and get dirty on the practice tree. So Jeggy's going to do the same thing, but I feel like if I can compete with those two, I can compete with anybody.
Well, good luck to you this year. All right, Tony. You've been sitting there, you've been pacing, you've been patient. I know you're ready to erupt, though, because you've had 95 days to kind of sit and think about that race. How was the off-season for you?
I think the off-season was fantastic, spending with the kids and family at home. It's funny because I probably got asked about that run more than any other run, you know, in the history, including the run, which was the greatest. Everyone says, well, you know, what happens? You get beat on a hole shot. I said, you know, it wouldn't have changed my life to be an 8-time world champ. I would have loved it, don't get me wrong. Light came on, I did my job. But it would have really messed his up. And I will never say, you know, anything but that, because it would have, you know, we watched it happen to Coletta, we watched it happen to Hot Rod, you know, where you got to sit back and watch that run. And that's a tough way, because when I want to say one thing, it was a hard way to have to win a championship, and in no way do I ever think Antron was hoping I lost. That's what had to make it the toughest. That's a classy guy at the end. That's a good guy. He didn't hope I lost. He hoped he won the championship. A totally different thing. And I was proud to know that he was my teammate. And I gave him my best shot, and he'll never in the history of his career have to wonder if it was a gift, the championship, because I was trying to take it. We all were. It's what we do. It was a phenomenal race. Had a 50 light, Bernstein had a 32. At the end of the day, when someone beats you that way, you get out, shake their hand, and they beat you. That's just the way it is, you know. It would have been a very, very long winter if I had a 140 light, dropped the ball, had it in my hands. But I felt like we all did a great job. And we had a great year. We came back, and we made Antron and his team watch from the back in the most difficult of all situations. And let's remember one thing. He's not the champ because I lost in any way, in any shape, in any form. He's the champ because they dominated all year. The last 2 races, forget about it. What they did was miraculous. They set a world record. They won, I think, 6 races, and they earned a championship, and that's most important. So it's racing, man. It's racing. We'll come back. We'll start again in Pomona right now. Today, we'll go out and try to win another championship. And, you know, how many blessed moments have we had? I've sat on the starting line. I've sat at Pomona 4 times at the last race and had to win to be the champ. And that is a gift. That is a gift of any moment. Anyone that ever dreams of racing cars or any sport, that's the moment they dream of. And we've had it over and over again. Most of them turned out well. Last year I got beat, and Antron's the world champ, and there's nothing in the world wrong with that. So DSR did a great job. Funny car and top fuel. So I had a great off season. Enjoyed my kids, and look forward to the next off season. Got a long way to get there, though.